Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ozzy's Drives. Today we have a very interesting car and it's becoming a classic. It's the Porsche 911 Turbo 996, the hated model. So make sure, before we start the review, to subscribe and leave a like. Why did everybody hate the Porsche 911 996? Well, there were two reasons. The first reason was it was the first water-cooled engine from the 911 series, and the second, it was also the first 911 that didn't have the round-shaped headlights, and that's why everybody keep on hating at this car, especially the 996 standard version, because they had orange indicators here that were really misplaced and that really looked like an egg. That's why they call it the egg headlights. Very interesting. That's the only reason they hated it. But there's still a lot of positive things to talk about the Porsche 996 Turbo, and it's starting to become a classic. It's getting in the age, it's over 20 years old, and there were some very nice and beautiful advantages of driving this car. It had ventilated brakes, for example. It had a multi-link suspension. It had a McPherson front suspension, so very good. It was built for you to be able to drive it comfortably and very fast if you need to. A lot of people track those cars even to today. And then we have this beautiful greenhouse. This is typical Porsche. I mean, look at that. This reminds me a lot of the Porsche 993. Very classy, very nice line. You're so narrow to the window. That has changed over the years, but here you still have the perfect combination of the old world, the G models, and the new world 997s and up. So very, very interesting. Of course, big intakes here for the turbochargers and the engine to get cooled, integrated into this big side fender. Very nice. And then you reveal this big back where the engine sits. Very nice. The taillights are also cool. I think this is a nice design, especially for the car. It suits the design very well. We have this big spoiler. This is aftermarket. It's a carbon spoiler. Otherwise, it would be in the same color as the car itself, and it will be integrated here and only come up and down if you drive 120 kph on the Autobahn, which is also another technology revolution. Porsches have always done this, and here they integrated a spoiler and not the big part that was going up and down. Very nice. Let me pop the hood and show you what the engine is all about. Since we started talking about it, we have to press a button and then we can actually access the engine from here. And not unlike the new Porsches, you can actually look at it. And as you can see, we have the magnificent Metzger 3.6 liter flat 6 engine, B-turbocharged, producing 420 horsepower and 560 Newtonmeters of torque. Able to accelerate this car from 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds with the manual gearbox, and tops out at 305 kph. You could get the car with a manual 6-speed or an automatic. So I would go with the manual. And something very interesting is the Metzger engine is called a legend because of its sheer reliability and power output. You can use those things daily. The car has 170,000 kilometers, but still feels absolutely mint. Maintain it well, drive it well, use it, and you will have a beautiful car, a beautiful classic for you to enjoy. Very nice. The car is even light. It has 1,500 kilograms to 1,600 depending on how much you put into the interior. It's very, very nice. I really like it. Welcome to the interior of the Porsche 911 996, and let's face it, while we have very premium materials like leather seats, leather here, leather on the shifter, the interior is really outdated. For some strange reason, Porsche was always the best in making the car really fast, drivable, beautiful to experience, but they always lacked in terms of fantastic interiors. And why do I say this? Well, the 996 Turbo was built from 2000 to 2005. When I compare, let's say, BMW to this car, they look much better in terms of interior. Even an M5 from 1999 looks much better. Lamborghini Gallardo, much more beautiful. Aston Martin, for example, much more beautiful. So the design is really very logical. It's for you to be able to drive it and not be distracted, but it doesn't really look nice. So that panel here is a little too steep. They kind of took the design of the interior from the G models, from all of those old cars that were already 20-30 years old, and tried to update it a little bit with some buttons here for the climate control. This is aftermarket because the original one you can't use that, so it's really outdated. The steering wheel feels a little bit outdated also for a car from 2005 or 2003. So that's really not that good. You have some fancy stuff like the discs, for example. You can put your CD in here. For you youngsters, this was the thing we put into the radio to listen to music. I know you don't know about it because you have Bluetooth and aux and all of that stuff. This is actually something that holds music in it. And then what we also enjoyed a lot was cigarette lighters. Look at that. You could actually smoke in this car, man. Cigarette pack. And you had a lot of options to make the car faster, put the spoiler up, put and down, turn off the PSM, etc. And then that was it. That was it. It was driver oriented. It's very comfortable to sit in. It just feels very outdated. Really, it really does. What I like though is I like the speedometer. I like the RPM gauge, the kph gauge on the left side. You have some stuff that shows you how much you're actually using in fuel, for example. The car was very easy to maintain. I mean, it's not that complicated. I mean, you can get parts for it everywhere. They had some Alcantara here on the top, but then when you open this and you look at that, I mean, this is really, really bad. That doesn't feel good in no terms at all. Even though the car is old and we can say, okay, there was an old style, it really looks bad. Rear window, okay, that's okay. But the buttons are a little bit misplaced here, for example, for the left and right mirror. The boxes kind of look strange. We have a microphone here right next to my leg. So if I want to put on a phone in here, so it's kind of a little bit strange. Some spaces here, for example, this, it's closed. You could open it like that. You just use your key, bop, it's open. I could put some stuff in here, then get the key out, and you have some integrated storage compartments here on the left door, for example, or on the right door. Very interesting, but that's about it. And when you start the car up, 1,000 lights come on. It's just so simple. It's really so simple. This I also don't understand. Why did you put those buttons here when we can't even put down the rear windows? I don't know. What is that for? You could just put on another plastic cover and that's it. I mean, that's a little strange. Open the window. It opens in 2 speeds. So slow, for example. First slow and then fast. Look at that. Slow, 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 slow. And now it accelerates. The turbo boost comes in. Yeah. And do it again. Turbo boost and decelerate. Whatever this is for. Yeah, that's about it for the interior of the 911 Turbo. We have a full driving experience though. Make sure you check that out. I will put the link into the description and in the end of the video. And we also have the latest Porsche 911 Turbo, the 992 generation. This was a massive change from size, interior, outside, acceleration, and all of that. Check out that video too. And that's about it. Thank you very much for watching and see you on the next one. Goodbye.